This is the Brotherhood of the Traveling Cats. Episode 1. Leaving Home.
Before I get into the adventure, I should probably talk a little bit about the preparations I made and the players involved. I went to the big box store and looked for a tent. I already had a tent, but I wanted my boys to feel that they were taking part in the camping experience too. And I wanted to be able to shut them up in a little box while we slept, so we could visit the privy at night without worrying about their getting out of the tent. So I was looking for a very small tent. I found a good candidate in an OT indoor kiddie tent, about 4x6. On to the players. Can't tell the players without a program. Fox, like the Phoenix, is our orange tabby. He's playful, he's friendly to the point of boorishness, and he always comes when you call his name. Not Fox, I mean his real name, which is unpronounceable by the human voice, but sounds something like a food box's lid being rotated in preparation for opening. The twins, as they are called, are Norwegian forest cats, black and whites with snowshoe fur around their paws, named Rudolph, Valentino, and Dash. Tino is loving most of the time, and aloofly shy the rest. He's always looking for a place to hide. Dash, sometimes called Dashiell Robert Parr, is friendly but respectful, a little skittish and fussy. He has this adorable habit of lifting up on his hind legs when you reach down to pet him. And then there's Solomon Dastron, usually called Solomon or Dossie. Our black American Shorthair is rambunctious and skittish. A feral cat rescued by my wife's dog, he is not well socialized, but he is affectionate when he chooses to be. During our last week at home before the trip, we dosed the boys for fleas. Because the boys all love to groom each other, we had to keep them separated after their dosing. Since I didn't have space or time to maintain 4 litter boxes and 4 sets of food dishes, we kept the medicated cat in our bedroom and gave the others the run of the house. A week before we left, I set up the little tent in our living room. This was no small feat. It left us barely 1.5 feet of walking space on one side and required us to sort of climb over one of the armchairs in the living room to get to the kitchen. Fox was the first to explore the tent, but I think Tino was the first to start sleeping in it. I put the blanket from our bed inside because it had our scent on it and because it had the cat's scents on it. I put their food only in the tent, and I put the litter box in the tent. All was going well up until a few days before our trip, when one of the boys decided to use the blanket for litter instead of the litter box. So the last day before we left, we had to wash the blanket. Jerks. The night before we left, I took apart the cat's water fountain and set them up a bowl of water with a dose of something to help prevent stress and car sickness. The day finally arrived. I say finally, but it came way too fast. We packed about half the things we wanted to take with us into the car and packed the boys in the back seat in their kennels, placing them carefully around the very special chair my wife spent weeks putting together for a milestone party in California. Dash peed on me when I went to put him in his kennel. Solomon yowled for the first hour or 2 on the road. Tino sulked silently in his kennel. Even though we gave the boys rescue the night before, Fox still got carsick. Poor guy. None of the cats showed interest in the chicken we got on the road, nor in the fish we saved from the meal the next morning. I got a text message from my mother-in-law asking if Fox had puked yet. I told her he had, just about an hour in. She said, well, at least he got it over with. One of my wife's favorite things from a previous trip to Virginia was crispy, crunchy chicken. Cajun recipe fried chicken that surprised her. She never thought she'd want to eat more of something she'd bought at a gas station. So when we reached Fort Deposit, we stopped and bought some. The chicken was almost as good as we remembered. Because of the late hour, we couldn't get the pieces we wanted, but the taste was great. The cats turned their noses up at it, though.
Overall, the trip went very smoothly until we had almost reached our stopping point for the first night. Come back next time for a killer phone, a dog named Cat, and a missing key on the Brotherhood of Traveling Cats. Through the generosity of my patrons on Patreon, the Brotherhood of the Traveling Cats is released under a Creative Commons non-derivative license. This means you are free to enjoy this work and redistribute it, even for money, as long as you don't alter or remix it, and you don't remove this notice. If you enjoyed this work, consider supporting the creation of more like it at my Patreon page. Thank you. This is the Brotherhood of Traveling Cats. This is the story of my cats and our drive. This is the story of cats on the road. This is the Brotherhood of Traveling Cats.